But the inspired leaders and the inspired organizations, regardless of their size, regardless of their industry, all think, act, and communicate from the inside out. Let me give you an example. I use Apple because they're easy to understand and everybody gets it. If Apple were like everyone else, a marketing message from them might sound like this. We make great computers. They're beautifully designed, simple to use, and user-friendly. Want to buy one? Meh. And that's how most of us communicate. That's how most marketing is done. That's how most sales is done. And that's how most of us communicate interpersonally. We say what we do. We say how we're different or how we're better, and we expect some sort of behavior, a purchase, a vote, something like that. Here's our new law firm. We have the best lawyers with the biggest clients. We always perform for our clients, do business with us. Here's our new car. It gets great gas mileage. It has, leather seats. Buy our car. But it's uninspiring. Here's how Apple actually communicates. Everything we do, we believe in challenging the status quo. We believe in thinking differently. The way we challenge the status quo is by making our products beautifully designed, simple to use, and user-friendly. We just happen to make great computers. Want to buy one? Totally different, right? If you're ready to buy a computer from me, all I did was reverse the order of the information. What it proves to us is that people don't buy what you do, people buy why you do it. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it.
Simon says to start with why, to find our drive and purpose. But what if the why we're chasing after is actually the wrong one? As human beings, we have this relentless desire to feel special, to be extraordinary. Yet, could it be that this why which so many of us embrace is the very thing holding us back? Just as flies are drawn to a lamp, mistaking it for the moonlight, we too are lured by the lamp of others' dreams and expectations, believing that their why, their values, will guide us, only to realize that we're trapped in an illusion of greatness that serves no one. It feels like the easy choice we make to outsource our happiness in this way to others, but it doesn't come without a huge cost. I believe there are two main reasons why we do this. The first is that we fail to recognize the limits of our own self-control. In other words, we bring the knife of our natural impulse control to the gunfight of the immense social pressures fueled by corporate billions spent to keep us addicted. And two, most of us don't even realize the gravity of this issue in the first place, let alone start to resolve it. If I'm simply able to brighten the spotlight on this issue, I will feel satisfied. We live in a world that is obsessed with individualism and comparison. We're taught that being successful means being admired, standing out, being better than others. This becomes our default sense of why, to be exceptional. And don't get me wrong, this competitive spirit does have its advantages, but left unchecked, which it all too often is, it creates this toxic cycle of validation seeking that leaves us feeling insecure and disconnected. Platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and even consumer companies like Apple are designed to make us crave attention. It's their entire business model. Without this, they cannot turn a profit. Every like, comment, and view feel like proof that we're special, offering us endless opportunities for external validation. They hijack our natural desire to fit in, tapping into our scarcity mindset, which we no longer need but still carry. It's the ghost of an ancient instinct lingering from a period when attention, resources, and status were matters of survival. But in this modern world, this inevitably leaves us feeling hollow and confused as we wonder, how come the more things we have, the more things we want, the more unsatisfied we feel? How come the more technology purportedly allows us to be connected, the less connected we feel? We fail to recognize that everything we need to be special, to be extraordinary, is in the present and within us, not in the future and within other people or other things. There's this common proverb that knowledge is power. But I believe our unprecedented interconnectedness has exposed a limit to this idea because we're now suffocated with the knowledge of the lives that others are living, real or staged. And this is actually disempowering us. Not only does it leave us feeling isolated, incapable, and depressed because our neighbor has a solar roof panel and we don't, or travels often and we don't, it also inflates our ego when we're the ones with that solar roof panel, which is no better because both cases are reflective of the shaky ground which we've anchored our sense of self-worth. When we rely on others to validate us, we surrender control over our own happiness. A single bad day, fewer likes, fewer compliments, and we spiral because we've built our entire identity on the whims of others. And even when we achieve what others think makes us special, it rarely aligns with what actually fulfills us. The finish line keeps moving, and we're left feeling even more lost than when we started in the first place. This obsession with being special not only devalues us, it also strains and devalues our relationships because we start to look at everyone as a competitor instead of a collaborator. It's no surprise that the rates of suicide and depression have been on an uptrend in the past few decades as technology has continued to proliferate. Letting go of being special doesn't mean giving up or even being unambitious. It means shifting our focus inward, finding a deeper why in personal growth rather than external applause. We're so busy chasing after the extraordinary that we fail to see the beauty of the everyday, the deep relationships, the small victories, and simply living in alignment with who we are. As social creatures, the desire for external validation is inevitable, but we need to reclaim control of our own self-worth and self-control by facing these unprecedented pressures with a more thoughtful and creative approach. It starts with first acknowledging the limits of our personal self-control and reshaping our environment in a way that reduces the unnecessary external influences. Which habits, relationships, or items do we need to add more friction to in order to slow their pull on us, and which do we need to take away some of that friction so we might more easily move towards them? Instead of chasing after recognition, focus on pursuits that would still hold meaning even if no one knew about them. And maybe, just maybe, shift the question from how can I stand out to how can I contribute? Because perhaps real specialness isn't about the rarity or the spectacle, but about being present. The small acts of kindness, the quiet commitments, the simple but profound act of being human. In a world obsessed with being exceptional, let's not forget the danger of forgetting the beauty of the ordinary. Mary Oliver, a great poet, once asked, "What would you do with your one wild and precious life?" The answer to that might not lie in being special, but in being present.